fortunate and we are honored that today we have Sri Narahari sir, IAS. And first of all, అందరికి నరహరి సార్ గురించి చెప్పాలంటే సార్ నాకు చాలా ఇన్స్పిరేషన్. 2002లో సార్ని అశోక్ నగర్ లో ఒక ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ క్లాస్ లో చూసాను. అప్పటి నుంచి కూడా సార్ని ఆదర్శంగా తీసుకుని నేను కూడా బాగా సివిల్స్ ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యాను. సార్ గుర్తుండకపోవచ్చు, నేను అందరిలో ఒక స్టూడెంట్ని. బట్ స్టిల్ ఈరోజు లాస్ట్ 20 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, సార్ సివిల్స్ పాస్ అయ్యి ట్రైనింగ్ చేసి 20 సంవత్సరాల ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది. లాస్ట్ 20 సంవత్సరాల ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లో సార్ గెయిన్ అయిన నాలెడ్జ్ మన కోసం ఈరోజు ముఖ్యంగా సివిల్స్ ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్ళే వాళ్ళకి సార్ అందివ్వబోతున్నారు. సార్ గురించి విశ్వనాథ్ కొన్ని సార్ అచీవ్మెంట్స్ కానీ సార్ జర్నీ కానీ విశ్వనాథ్ మనకి ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఇస్తారు. అండ్ ఐ విష్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ విశ్వనాథ్ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ ఆప్షన్ తో ఇయర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్తున్నారు. తను సార్ గురించి 2 మాటలు చెప్పిన తర్వాత సార్ దగ్గర నుంచి మనం వాల్యుబుల్ గైడ్ లైన్స్ తీసుకుందాం.
Good evening, Managwal. In our midst is a top civil servant and an astute administrator, P. Narahari Garu. P. Narahari Garu is known for designing and implementing many innovative schemes, one of which is the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, which has inspired the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao program, which is being copied or inspired nearly in 15 states of India. He is a proud son of the Telangana soil. He has completed his Bachelor of Engineering in Production Engineering and later went on to complete his Masters in Economics. He has entered the Indian Engineering Service in 1999 and later went on to serve in the Indian Administrative Services in 2001. He has held many district magistrateships in Singrauli district, Gwalior and Indore. I want to put before the audience that the jewel in the crown was his tenure at the Indore district, where he has put special focus on cleanliness or urban development. As we know, Indore is actually the top rated city in the Swachh Sarvekshan program. Sir has put enough detail into making it an open defecation free district, open defecation free state, and sir's contribution lies in working on reducing female feticide in the district. I would also want to put before the candidates that while working as the urban administrative department secretary, sir has focused on sanitation. As we know, Gandhi ji has put that cleanliness is next to godliness. Sir has put enough focus on making cleanliness a priority in administration. He has seen that nearly 20 cities in Madhya Pradesh are in the top 100 cities in Swachh Sarvekshan survey. Because of his efforts, that Madhya Pradesh was ranked 3rd in the Swachh Sarvekshan survey in 2020. As you know, friends, this is an era of digital governance or digital administration. Here is a man who specializes in using social media to propagate social welfare schemes and create awareness among the citizens about government policies, programs and activities. Narahari Garu is known for his writings such as Who Owns Mahua, The Making of the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, and the rise of social media in administration. He is also known for his work Betiya. Sir is also known for starting an innovative program called Swachhta Ke Sur, which focuses on using innovative audio-visual programs for propagation of Swachh Bharat Yojana. Sir, as a person who is invested with the great job of introducing you, when I read your CV, I found one inspiration story, I think, which would serve as an inspiration to all of the young civil servants here. Sir, your work in Gwalior district, where within 2 years of time, you have made the district 95% barrier free, is an inspiration to all the aspiring civil servants wanting to work on the social transformation domain. Sir, we know that for this attempt, you are awarded the award by President Pranab Mukherjee ji for the empowerment of persons with disabilities. Sir, we also know that you have been awarded with the District Collector Digital Championship Award and also the CRISIL Award for Excellence in Municipal Administration. Sir, we are very, very honored to have you here because Better India has rated you as one of the 10 most inspiring IAS officers in India. Yes, sir, we know you are a professional policy advisor and a mentor for many aspiring civil servants like us. Sir, we are very honored to have you here again. We have many enthusiastic students who are in the last lap of the civil service journey, attempting their personality test in the next 2 months to come. Sir, we request you once again to share your valuable inputs and enrich us with your experiences, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Sir, I would like to put a word in front of all my students. Though you are not physically present here, your message of what work you are doing, what good work you are doing, and with your inspiration, what I am doing, this is going to live forever, sir. And thank you, sir, for coming to us. Sir, kindly, you can start your lecture, sir.
Thank you so much for the elaborate introduction. I have many things to say, but I'm not sure exactly what you guys want to know from me. So I will speak for 5 minutes, and I would want you to ask questions that you feel that you should know from me. Maybe that will help you a lot. I feel so. First of all, this whole personality development session, the interview is all about trying to understand whether you are suitable for a leadership role in the Indian administrative services and other services. So one has to exhibit one's character or personality in this personality interview. So what I would advise is to be, when you actually take part in this interview program, you must ensure that your fullest potential is actually being represented. It is not a question answer session. Don't think that they're asking you questions and you're answering. It is not a question answer session. The way civil services exam has been designed, there is a prelims, there is a mains, and there's an interview. The prelims tries to capture your analytical ability, your ability to actually, in a limited time, try to crack questions and try to answer them. And with varied options, they'll try to see to it that are you able to arrive at a particular answer or not. So preliminary exam is mainly to eliminate the ones who are not serious in this contention. When it comes to mains exam, they are trying to see to your ability to elaborate on issues, to have a comprehensive view of things, and your ability to actually work across the system. Are you suitable for that or not? They are trying to see to it. And third, when it comes to personality, they are actually trying to examine your personality. You have gone through 2 levels, and the third level is about trying to understand whether you are suitable for the Indian administrative services and other services. So it is not a question answer session. It is rather a session to understand your personality. Through questions, the most experienced people who are sitting in the interview will try to understand whether you must be taken into the services or not. So try to be as cool as possible. Try to be as original as possible. I would say being original makes a lot of difference. Don't try to make it, a parrot trying to answer to questions. Don't try to make it a more of a repetitive kind of answering machine. Rather, you must be more original in yourself and more realistic in nature. And your answer should be that, okay, this guy has comprehensive knowledge of things, and he is able to analyze things, and he is able to come to a conclusion in such a way that when given an opportunity in the services, you will deliver. And you have that capability to deliver is what the civil services is trying to look for you. So I would like to take questions rather than actually trying to speak to, muted spectators. I would like to take questions and answer them. Now, if you try to understand from my CV, I have had a lot of out of 21 years of my service, to 10 years I was in the field, and I was also head of the department of 6 departments till now, and was into policy making a lot. So any questions that you would want to understand that you were not able to find from other, please, you can ask your questions. You can unmute yourself, and also you can please show your face also, so that I'm speaking to somebody who I understand. Yeah, please.
Sir, sir, ఇక్కడ అందరు తెలుగు వాళ్ళే ఉన్నారు సార్. సో
Okay.
యా, సో జనరల్ గా మాక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో, లైక్ ఇఫ్ యూ బికమ్ లెట్ అస్ సపోజ్ an administrator for your home district, let us say, అట్లా what are the 3 things which you will be doing? అలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ ని జనరల్ గా అంటే ఎలా డీల్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది సార్?
See, first of all, the question will not arise. They won't ask you a question. Will you become collector to your home district? That won't happen, because as per the government, as per the civil services manual and the provisions, every district home district collector chair. So you might go to your home state as an IAS officer, but you will not be posted in your home district, because civil list lo ras untundi which district you belong to. So they will always post you to a district which is not your home district. So that question doesn't arise. Now, another question which will definitely arise is, if you become civil servant, what 3 things if you become collector to a district? What are the 3 things that you do? So you must always understand ilanti questions etla answer cheyalanante, instead of saying that naaku ee 3 dreams unnai anante danikante, for example, nenu em chesavanni, I was collector for 4 districts of different nature. So collector ga vellinappudu nenu em chesavanni ante, first starting జిల్లాలకు వెళ్ళగానే, instead of jumping into nenu id chesta ad chesta ante, first em chesavanni ante, what are the issues that are actually people want you to do? So there are so many stakeholders ఉంటారు, మనల్ని కలవడానికి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉంటారు. There are civil societies members ఉంటారు, NGOs ఉంటారు, a lot of public representatives వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చెప్తారు, సార్ ఈ జిల్లాలో ఈ పని చేయాలి, ఆ పని చేయాలి. So first of all, at least initial 1 to 2 months నేను ఏం చేసేవాడిని అంటే, I tried to first find out our district lo asal problems enti, what are the problems which are major problems which are actually people are facing, what do people want, what are people's expectations from you anedi telusukunevandi. For example, in Gwalior jilla collector ga unnappudu I worked on 3 things. Enduku after at least 2 months I found out that acha ivi cheste this is going to be really good for the district. Number 1, female feticide, rampant female feticide unde. Sex determination, female feticide, one of the highest in the country unde anamata. So I designed a 2-year program, so that how to bring female feticide down, how to ensure that sex determination is not done. Second thing, I thought I should work on the infrastructure of the district, the road infrastructure mainly. That was very, very poor. So if I am going to stay for 2 years in the district, etla nenu road infrastructure ni improve cheyagalugutanu anedi, that's what I worked upon. Then third thing was, I did massive work on disability sector, in the disability sector. So disability sector lo I did major work. So these are the 3 areas I chose. Nenu 3 areas ni choose cheskoni oka comprehensive plan tayaru cheskunnanu, plan 2-year plan తయారు చేసుకొని every week review, every month review, and stakeholders తోని మాట్లాడి, అంటే stakeholders ఎవరెవరు ఉంటారు, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫీమేల్ ఫిటిసైడ్ ని తక్కువ చేయాలనంటే, సెక్స్ డిటర్మినేషన్ ఎలిమినేట్ చేయాలనంటే డాక్టర్స్ కమ్యూనిటీతో మాట్లాడడం. దెన్ there are several societies, several caste groups ఎక్కడైతే the sex determination and female feticide is rampant, వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడడం. అంగన్వాడీ వర్కర్స్, ఆశా వర్కర్స్, హెల్త్ వర్కర్స్, వీళ్ళందరినీ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ లో తీసుకొని వర్క్ చేయడం. సో ఒక 2-year ప్లాన్ తయారు చేసి దాన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటూ పోతే 2 years తర్వాత when the entire plan was executed, we got wonderful results. సో ద ఆన్సర్ షుడ్ బి, నేను ఆ జిల్లాకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి వేరియస్ స్టేక్ హోల్డర్స్తో కలిసి మాట్లాడి నేను ఒక 3 అంశాలను ఎంచుకొని దాని మీద కాంప్రహెన్సివ్గా 2 years ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ తయారు చేసి దాన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేస్తా అని చెప్పడం వుడ్ బి అ బెటర్ ఆన్సర్. ఎస్, ఎనీబడి వాంట్స్ టు రేస్ క్వశ్చన్స్ యూ కెన్, మీరు చాట్ బాక్స్ లో కూడా రాయొచ్చు, ఆర్ యూ కెన్ రేజ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్. ఐ థింక్ దే మేడ్ మీ హోస్ట్, సో ఐ నీడ్ టు అన్మ్యూట్ యూ ఇఫ్ ఐ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ యూ స్పీక్. నెక్స్ట్ ప్లీజ్.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Another repeated question is what is the role of a DM in the district administration and how it is evolving with time?
Okay, it is a very, see the role of the district magistrate, district collector, mundu district collector అనేటువంటిది ఏదైతే the Britishers established this particular system. The land revenue code, ఏదైతే ల్యాండ్ రెవెన్యూ కోడ్ ఆర్ ల్యాండ్ రెవెన్యూ యాక్ట్స్ ఏవైతే బ్రిటిషర్స్ ఆ కాలంలో తీసుకొచ్చినారో దాన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి ది రెవెన్యూ సిస్టమ్ వాజ్ బ్రాట్ ఇన్, ఆర్ ద డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ కలెక్టర్ వాజ్ ద వన్ హూ యూస్ టు కలెక్ట్ టాక్సెస్, రెవెన్యూ, ల్యాండ్ రెవెన్యూ కలెక్టర్ వాజ్ ది కలెక్టర్. దాని తర్వాత ద సిఆర్పిసి తీసుకొచ్చిన తర్వాత, సిఆర్పిసి ద క్రిమినల్ ప్రొసీజర్ కోడ్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత 1894లో, then the district magistrate system came into existence. So the district collector came first, then came the district magistrate. So the district collector and district magistrate అనే ఏదైతే రెసిగ్నేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఒకదాని తర్వాత వచ్చినాయి. దాని తర్వాత after a long gap, after independence, the collector's role started evolving into a development administrator. Instead of being a collector, revenue collection తగ్గిపోయింది, revenue collection diminished, and revenue అంటే land revenue collection got diminished, and more importantly evolved district collector as a district administrator and district development officer లాగా evolve అయింది. ఆ తర్వాత after 2000, I would say the district collector's role again got redesigned or rechristened to be a facilitator. The collector's role is more of a facilitator. అంటే ఫెసిలిటేటర్ అంటే ఎలా అంటే there are 40 to 50 districts ఉంటాయి ప్రతి జిల్లాలో. ఆ జిల్లాలో ఉన్నటువంటి అన్ని డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ ని కోఆర్డినేట్ చేసి గవర్నమెంట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ పాలసీని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి కలెక్టర్స్ రోల్ became more of a facilitator. So the role of collector has been changing from time and again, from being a district collector to a district facilitator, and increasingly the collector's role is becoming more also in regulatory nature. Regulatory work anante regulatory work elanti regulatory works anante if you have to ensure government lands మీద encroachment అవ్వకూడదు, లేకపోతే government related, whether it is tax collection or excise related work or let's say mining related work. So all these works, దీని అన్నిటిలో రెగ్యులేషన్ ఎక్కువైపోయింది. రెగ్యులేషన్ no encroachments, no illegal sale of liquor, no illegal mining. So వీటన్నిటిని అరికట్టాలనంటే కలెక్టర్ని పట్టుకొచ్చినారు. So the collector plays a role in ensuring that ఇవి కాకూడదు, ఇలాంటి నెగటివ్ థింగ్స్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లో అవ్వకూడదు అని అంటే అక్కడ కలెక్టర్ వచ్చేస్తాడు. The collector is being made a regulatory person in nature. So with time the role of collector is continuously changing. Yes.
So 2 questions we would like to ask with respect to the interview procedure, sir. On questions, one of them is the questions on the integrity check of the students. Like ఇప్పుడు మీ దాంట్లో కూడా చూసినట్టే ప్రొఫైల్లో మీరు ఇంజనీరింగ్ సర్వీసెస్ నుంచి తర్వాత అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ సర్వీస్కి వచ్చారు. సో అలా చాలా మంది స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఇక్కడ మంచి బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. Like some of them worked in Microsoft, some of them worked as research associates. So ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఎలాగ మీ షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు మీ కెరియర్స్ అన్నప్పుడు ఎలా ఆన్సర్స్ ముందు తీసుకెళ్తే బాగుంటాయి సార్?
The best answer is that every human being should ensure utilization of human optimum potential. ఈ వర్డ్స్ ని బాగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Optimum potential of any person, optimum utilization of human resource of any person కావాలన్నమాట. అంటే ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు నాలో ఉన్నటువంటి జ్ఞానము లేకపోతే నాలో ఉన్నటువంటి పొటెన్షియల్ ని ఆప్టిమం యూటిలైజేషన్ కావాలి. ది బెస్ట్ యూటిలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ మై పొటెన్షియల్ షుడ్ హ్యాపెన్. సో where does this optimum utilization or the best utilization of human resource happen? So if I am working in Microsoft, or if I am working as in engineering services, or if I am working in some public sector, I am only, my potential is being limitedly being used for specific purpose only. Whereas if I am getting into Indian administrative services, my potential will be optimally utilized for multiple purposes. Endukante in Indian administrative services gives that scope, gives that opportunity for using optimum potential of yours. There are varied departments, varied set of works, and the kind of opportunities that are there in Indian administrative services, no other services actually gives that. So this is the simplest answer that one has to give. అంటే నా పొటెన్షియల్ ని బెస్ట్ యూటిలైజేషన్ ఎక్కడ చేసుకోవాలి, ఎక్కడ వీలవుతుంది అని అంటే అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ సర్వీసెస్ లో అవుతుంది. అండ్ ఇండియన్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ సర్వీసెస్ గివ్స్ దట్ ఆపర్చునిటీ, దట్ స్కోప్, దట్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ టు ensure that my potential is maximum utilized. So this should be your answer. Yes.
Sir, one more question which most of the students have is, what should be the emphasis on non-verbals in the interview, sir? Non-verbals like attire kani, face postures kani, like way of speaking kani.
See, non-verbal communication is also part of your communication. It is a part of your communication actually. Whether manamu nautunama, edustunnama, lekapothe smile istunama, lekapothe we are showing disagreement or anything is non-verbal agreement, non-verbal communication. See, in any interview or personality test, and in the cheppinnattu, it is not a question answer session. It is your personality test. సో యూఆర్ బీయింగ్, నిన్ను ఇబ్బందిలో పెట్టి, నువ్వు ఇబ్బందిలో ఉన్నప్పుడు, నిన్ను ఇబ్బంది పెట్టినప్పుడు నువ్వు ఏ విధంగా రియాక్ట్ అవుతావు అనేది చూస్తున్నారు. సో ఆల్వేస్ ట్రై టు బి ప్లెజెంట్, ఆల్వేస్ ట్రై టు బి కామ్, ఆల్వేస్ ట్రై టు కీప్ అ స్మైలీ ఫేస్. డోంట్ గివ్ ఓవర్లీ negative expressions on your face. Even if you don't like, somebody has said something bad also in the interview lo, nenu ibbandi pettadani try chesina, try to be calm. So the whole interview process is all about your ability to stay calm in difficult situations. So whether are you really trying to be calm in difficult situations or not is what is being seen by the interviewers. Yes.
Sir, one more question we are receiving from the students is, some of the students have attempted nearly the exam for 3 attempts, 4 attempts, or multiple attempts, because of which they are having a gap in their career. So what would be a best approach to explain their career, the gap in the career, rather than getting into defensive mode in the interview, sir?
అంటే కెరీర్ లో గ్యాప్ రావడం అంటే బికాస్ ఈ అటెంప్ట్స్ చేయడం బట్టి ఎలాంటి జాబ్స్ చేయలేదనే కదా, జాబ్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే హైయర్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్స్ అచీవ్ చేయలేదనే కదా అర్థం, ఇఫ్ ఐ యామ్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ కరెక్ట్లీ.
Yeah, that is the question, sir. After the graduation, many have got into this preparation, and they have writing multiple attempts, sir. Like 3 attempts. ఇప్పుడు స్టూడెంట్స్ చెప్పడం 3 attempts, 5 attempts అలా అటెంప్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్. సో అలాంటప్పుడు ఓవర్ డిఫెన్సివ్ గా వెళ్లకుండా కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా ఎలా పోర్ట్రేట్ చేస్తే బెటర్ అనేది ఒక క్వశ్చన్ సార్.
See, first and foremost, మనము we should, మనం ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇస్తున్నాం కదా, మన ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇస్తున్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ మనలో లోపట ఎలాంటి ఆత్మ న్యూనతా భావం ఉండకూడదు. అంటే ఆత్మ న్యూనతా భావం అంటే ఫీలింగ్ దాట్ అరే నేను 3 సార్లు ట్రై చేసినాను, 4 సార్లు ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను కదా, ఇంకా అవుతలేదుగా అనేటువంటి ఫీలింగ్ ఫస్ట్ మనలో ఉండకూడదు. మనం లోపల నేను ఏదో తప్పు చేస్తున్నాను, నేను ఏదో కోల్పోయినానా, ఏం కోల్పోయింది లేదు, ఏం లేదు. You have not lost anything, even if you are writing for three times, 4 times. It's a competitive exam wherein there are thousands of people who are writing, and there will be few people who will get selected, obviously, because there are few posts. So first manalo aa atma nyunata bhavam undakudadu. That is the first thing. Second thing, yes, you have been trying. There is nothing wrong. You have been trying to actually crack one of the most difficult and very competitive exams in the world. So when you are trying to crack such an exam, there will be gaps, there will be possibilities wherein, yes, you have been trying continuously, and most importantly, see, this exam allows you to write this exam only till you achieve a particular age. Age tarvata rayaleru kada. After 30 years you can't write exam if you are a general candidate, if I am right. So then till 30 years at least I will make an attempt, na. Only when after 30 years I will realize, after my attempts are exhausted, then I will say, okay, I'm now I can't take it anymore. That's why I'll not do. So you are not doing anything wrong. So you are making a continuous effort to crack one of the most competitive exams in the world. So there is a possibility that, okay, time padutundi. So you must answer it that way. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I would like to expand on the previous question, sir. So I am an MBBS doctor. So I am preparing since the past 5 years for civil services. I was never employed, or I did not join any job even during the COVID pandemic. So
Right.
How do I justify this, sir? That I am not helping, I am not sympathetic to the cause of the public during the pandemic.
So you were not practicing at all?
No, sir, nothing. I'm not practicing at all.
Not practicing at all. So, and you have been preparing for civil services exam. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I would still say the answer what I said is still relevant. I have been trying, and eventually I will try till I crack the exam, because ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా కానీ కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో ఆర్ కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కోసం ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్న వాళ్ళు, దే విల్ ఆల్వేస్ సీ యువర్ గ్రిట్ అండ్ డిటర్మినేషన్. సో యువర్ గ్రిట్ అండ్ డిటర్మినేషన్ షోస్ దట్ you have great grit to crack this exam and write as many times, number one. And eventually you have a fallback option also. You must be because by virtue of being an MBBS graduate, you have a fallback option also. The day you quit, no longer you are going to write civils, you are going to be a doctor. Okay. So you have a career in making. Still there is a career in the making that is waiting for you. Okay. And third thing, if you actually crack the civil services exam, the answer that you should give is that if you happen to crack the civil services exam, you will be the most important asset to the administrative services itself. Because recently we have seen a pandemic which really affected the entire world. And in IAS law, ఎవరైతే IAS officers MBBS చేసినారో, గవర్నమెంట్ వాళ్ళని వెతికి పట్టుకొచ్చి they put it in health department and they try to ensure that the pandemic is under control. So you are an asset to the services itself if you crack the exam. So these are the 3 points that you should say.
Okay, sir. Sir, 2 more questions based on this, sir. Many people are also doing job, working in the government sector, and they are trying the exam and also clearing the exam. That is the first one, sir. And second one, we are not losing anything. We have the option until only 32 years. So we are trying it. But what about the public? So you're only speaking from, if they ask, you're only speaking from your perspective and not from the public perspective.
Then how?
So what?
And the public etla problem ayindi ikkada?
I mean, like doctors are very less in India or something like that.
No. See,
So,
this thing again. See, there is a need for doctors in the administrative services also. It is now a settled issue. Okay, antamundu anevaadu nu doctor unde enduku vastunavu IAS loki ante, the answer I told you na, recent pandemic,
yes, sir.
MBBS chesina IAS officers were the most sought after. Every state and in the country, Delhi lo kuda ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారు ఎత్తుకండి MBBS చేసిన వాళ్ళు ఉంటే వాళ్ళని పట్టుకొచ్చి హెల్త్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో వేసినారు.
Okay.
So that itself shows why MBBS based officers are liked in are of requirement in the administrative services. Now when it comes to why you know MBBS చేస్తున్నావు, నువ్వు సర్వీస్ చేయకుండా పబ్లిక్ ని పట్టించుకోకుండా నువ్వు చూసుకుంటున్నావు అని అంటే, see again the answer, నేను ఫస్ట్ చెప్పిన ఆన్సర్ ఇవ్వాలి. సార్ MBBS నేను చేసినాను, yes, I will still go back to MBBS if I am not getting selected for IAS. At the same time, I want to realize my full potential as a human being. And my potential will be very good and very effectively, optimally utilized if I am getting into IAS. That's why I'm giving this attempt. And I'm very sure that I will make it to the Indian Administrative Services. This answer pettukondi. This is the best answer that you can give actually.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, and also another question on the opportunities that IAS gives are very wide. So we don't have that much experience on the ground level how IAS officers work, sir. So how they progress in their careers and what kind of job actually you perform. We don't have that experiential knowledge on this, sir. Can you briefly explain your experiences after joining Indian Administrative Services?
So the IAS law basically it's a general services. The administration itself is called, it is a generalized service. Okay, whereas the other services are, police service is policing, revenue service is the revenue related tax, income taxes and taxation related. Then railways is railway specific. So Indian Administrative Services is the only generalized services, and it has been designed in such a way that you are into the administration right from the day you join the service till you retire. So broadly, there are three areas where you work in the administrative services. Number one is district level. At the district level, that is called field posting. So field posting ante sub collector, municipal commissioner, collector, ivanni joint collector, additional collector, ivanni vachese field posting. So this is the first category of postings that IAS officers do. The second categories of posting that IAS officers do is become head of the departments. Head of the departments ante, for example, Commissioner Education, Commissioner Health, Commissioner Excise, or managing directors of various corporations. These are called HOD posts, head of the departments. This is the second category. Then the third category is being secretaries to the government. That is called policy making. The third area where government officers, where the IAS officers are posted is policy making. That is secretary, principal secretary, additional chief secretary, special chief secretary, secretary. These postings are called the government posting. This is government anamata basically. These are the three broad areas where IAS officers are posted. So initial 15-16 years of service, you are in the field. Initial 15-16 years. Collector period అయిపోయేంత వరకు నేను ఫీల్డ్ లో ఉంచుతారు. కలెక్టర్ పీరియడ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నిన్ను HODs గా వేస్తారు, హెడ్ ఆఫ్ ది డిపార్ట్మెంట్ చేస్తారు. Okay, that will be another 7 to 8 years. దాని తర్వాత you will be made secretaries, principal secretaries till you retire. That will be another 10 years. So broadly 34 to 35 years of service ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో ఈ విధంగా 3 areas లో డివైడ్ అయ్యి they make you work in the government.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, can you elaborate on the unique steps that you had taken which kept Indore consistently at the first place, sir? Because all the solid waste management steps are taken in all the major cities. But what is the uniqueness of Indore that made it repeatedly top the list?
See, the most important thing Indore that happened in Indore, number one, it is the first time ever that the government machinery, the public representatives, the media, and the citizens of Indore, they all came onto a same platform. They all realized the importance of making the city cleanest in the country. Our city should be the clean in the country. So this realization is the most important thing, number one. Number two, effective steps in the sense, steps which demonstrate that, our city, our ward, or our neighborhood can be cleanest. సో డెమాన్స్ట్రేటివ్ లేకుండా, డెమాన్స్ట్రేటివ్ అని అంటే ప్రదర్శనాత్మకంగా అనమాట. ప్రదర్శనాత్మకం అంటే ఇప్పుడు మన ఇంటి ఎదురుగా ఇప్పుడు రోజు పొద్దున్న వచ్చి మున్సిపల్ కార్పొరేషన్ వాళ్ళు చెత్త ఎత్తుకుపోయినారు అనుకో, ఇట్ ఈస్ డెమాన్స్ట్రేటివ్, రోజు అవుతా ఉండదు. జనరల్ ఏమవుతుంది, సిటీస్లలో ఓ రోజు వస్తాడు, ఓ రోజు రాడు, ఓ రోజు ఎత్తుకుపోతారు, ఇంకో రోజు తీసుకెళ్లారు. సో డెమాన్స్ట్రేటివ్లీ యూ హ్యావ్ టు షో, ఎస్ వీ కెన్ మేక్ అవర్ సిటీ క్లీన్, అవర్ నైబర్హుడ్ కెన్ బి క్లీన్ అనేది కంటిన్యూస్ గా చేసి చూపించగలిగినాం అనమాట. కంటిన్యూస్లీ ఎవ్రీ డే. Number two. Number three, there has been a campaign. The campaign was to ensure that not only city becomes clean, it was transferred into the hands of public. అంటే ఒకసారి గవర్నమెంట్ అఫీషియల్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేసి, పబ్లిక్ రిప్రజెంటేటివ్ స్టార్ట్ చేసి, the entire program was transferred into the hands of public, and the public started saying, ఇది మా సిటీ, ఇగో ఇక్కడ చెత్త వేయకూడదు, ఎవడన్నా చెత్త వేస్తే అండ్ వెంటనే నువ్వు లే ఆ చెత్త ఎత్తు అనేటువంటి స్టేజ్ కి మనము క్యాంపెయిన్ ని తీసుకెళ్ళగలిగినాం అనమాట. ద క్యాంపెయిన్ వాజ్ సో ఎఫెక్టివ్. దాంట్లో ఆడియో, విజువల్, మీడియా రిలేటెడ్, ప్లస్ the competitive environment that was created in the city. This is the third thing. Fourth important thing ఏంటంటే, ఒకసారి you need to make this as an addiction to people అనమాట. ఇది addiction, cleanliness addiction అనమాట, behavioral change. సో behavioral change అనమాట. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనమే ఉన్నాం అనుకో, మనం ఇప్పుడు రోజు we use latrines in our houses or toilets in our houses or workplaces. నేను ఇప్పుడు లోట పట్టుకొని నువ్వు బయటికి వెళ్ళి చేయమంటే ఎట్లా చేస్తాం? ఇట్స్ ఇంపాసిబుల్, బికాస్ వీ హ్యావ్ బీన్, our behavior has changed. We can't do that. So addiction అంటే అడిక్షన్ లాంటి బిహేవియరల్ చేంజ్ రావాలన్నమాట. సో దిస్ హోల్ క్యాంపెయిన్ వాజ్ నాట్ అబౌట్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్ టాయిలెట్స్, లేకపోతే something of that kind. It is not a infrastructure building project. It is behavioral change. So the entire work went into behavioral change of people. So once you change behavior, behavioral change issues చాలా ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ని మనం మిగతా దగ్గర కూడా వేసుకోవచ్చు. ఏంటి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆడపిల్లలను గౌరవించాలి, లేడీస్ ని గౌరవించాలి, వరకట్నం తీసుకోకూడదు, రోడ్డు మీద ట్రాఫిక్ రూల్స్ పాటించాలి, ఇవన్నీ బిహేవియరల్ ఇష్యూస్. ఇవన్నీ ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ బిహేవియరల్ ఇష్యూస్. నువ్వు ఒక్కసారి బిహేవియర్ లో వాటిని సరిదిద్దుకోగలిగితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా నువ్వు వచ్చేస్తుంది. ట్రాఫిక్ రూల్స్ పాటించాలి, అది బిహేవియర్ ఇష్యూ. సో సొసైటీలో సొసైటీ షుడ్ బి మేడ్ టు రియలైజ్ దట్ యు మస్ట్ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఉమెన్, యు మస్ట్ రెస్పెక్ట్ లేడీస్, యు మస్ట్ రెస్పెక్ట్ గర్ల్స్. సో ఇది సొసైటీలో బిహేవియరల్ చేంజ్ రావాలి. So these things, any of these things where government, if at all have to intervene, should work at the behavioral level. So Indore city's story is all about behavioral change, and that is why it has been very, very successful. Apart from many other interventions, there are chala interventions. You can find them on the internet. So many stories are there. But most importantly, I would say these are the reasons.
Sir, one more question that is coming this way is, sir, you are a crusader in using social media, but the question that comes is, does young civil servants be restricted from using social media in order to propagate their own image? Because Prime Minister is also talking in this direction. So this is a question we are finding in the previous UPSC transcripts, that to what extent that young civil servants should be made to use social media.
Area. See, the point is that social media, the government of India has come up with social media guidelines for civil servants. So there is a guideline for civil servants as to how social media should be used, number one. Then there is a second thing which is called mother of all rules, which is called conduct rules. The conduct rules, there are conduct rules for the civil servants. How should you conduct yourself? Only there are rules which are being, and what is this, the selection into the civil services? The day you get selected, you are in contract with the government of India. You are in a contract agreement. It's a contract. Nenu conduct rules ni follow avutanu. And no agreement, I mean, you basically gave it in writing to the government that I will follow the conduct rules. I mean, ఏ రోజైతే select అవుతారో first day మసూరి వెళ్ళాక first day నే మీతో సైన్ చేయించుకుంటారు. So it is a contract. So you have actually entered into a contract with the government of India that you will follow the conduct rules. So conduct rules లో ఏముందంటే సోషల్ మీడియా అనేది ఏ మీడియా అయినా, సోషల్ మీడియా ఇంకేదైనా మీడియా అయినా కూడా కానీ cannot be used to criticize the government. You cannot criticize the government. Government's policies, programs, criticize cheyalem. You can't criticize. Number one. Number two, you cannot, because a civil servant is supposed to be working with all humility and should also exhibit character and should not work or do any such thing of unbecoming of a civil servant. Unbecoming of civil servant ante mala conduct rules ni follow agunda man ishtam vachinattu cheyadam. Now image building. Now what is image building? Image building is not supposed to be done by any civil servant. Civil servant అనేవాడు image building చేయకూడదు. Why? Because civil servant is supposed to work to ensure that he is like, there is a backbone. We are called a backbone. We are not called the front chest or face of this government. We are not called the face of the government. We are called backbone of the government. So backbone evariki kanipichadu, and at the same time it makes the system erect and standard. I mean, it's strong. It makes the system strong. So if you are trying to build your image using social media, you are actually doing things which are against the conduct rules. So at the same time, government is encouraging civil servants to use social media. So social media ani manam deniki use cheyali? Government policies, programs, awareness creation, awareness ni penchadaniki, positivity, society lo positivity kosam తీసుకురావడానికి, society lo elanti negativities lekunda society ni సామరస్యపూరితంగా ఉంచేందుకు, అదే విధంగా సొసైటీకి మోటివేట్ చేయడానికి ఇవన్నిటి యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. నోబడీ ఈస్ స్టాపింగ్ యూ ఫ్రమ్ మోటివేటింగ్, ఎంకరేజింగ్ ది సొసైటీ. So even the rules framed by the government of India on social media asks you to have a account on social media, yet use it very positively.
Sir, previous question on the indoor, sir. Sir, can you elaborate whether the waste collected is one part, because it is also an ODF plus city, whether it is converted into waste or any methodologies you have been using in an economically sustainable manner?
What I can do is I can send you a document. I'll send you a document which you can read it out. The 1200 metric tons of waste is collected every day in India. 1200 metric tons. Out of this 1200 metric ton, now you can understand that earlier there used to be a dumping ground. Now there is no dumping ground. Now there is no dumping ground. That means entire 1200 metric tons per day is processed. Wet waste, dry waste, plastic, paper, wood, tires, lekapothe rubber material, bottle related, ఈ గాజులు ఇట్లాంటివా లేకపోతే ఏదైనా కూడా ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ప్రాసెస్డ్. సో నౌ ది కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ dumping yard or dumping ground is gone. To that level the city has grown up to. Okay, I'll send you a document, you can read that. I'll send to Latha madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, could you please elaborate 3 challenges you faced in Indore? Because like I am a student from IIT Indore, like I am expecting some questions on Indore. So I would like to know from you, sir.
Challenges from what point of view? In the sense, like, in administration?
Yes, sir. Like generally, what challenges or what problems you have encountered in Indore?
So the challenges wise, see, basically the city is overcrowded with huge traffic. I mean, the vehicular traffic is very high. One of the most highest density when it comes to traffic. I mean, vehicular traffic in the country. One of the highest vehicular traffic in the country. Number one. Number two, reluctance on the part of people to move towards outskirts. They would want to actually stay in the center of the city or the old city limits. The expansion wise, it is not that friendly in expanding horizontally.
Okay, sir.
That is number two. And number three, I would say is while there is increased awareness on certain areas, still on certain issues, the awareness of people is not that good. Let's say land related issues, people are not that good in understanding things. Then I mean, because they end up in buying frivolous forged lands, or lands which are not of bona fide character, and they end up in a lot of litigations. So that way people are not well aware when it comes to land related issues. I would say these are the 3 areas which I feel. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else?
Sir, can you elaborate on the steps that you have taken as part of this Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, sir?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, see, again, the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana scheme was introduced in 2007, 1st of April 2007. I was the project director ICDS when this scheme was brought, and I worked for 1 long year in framing this particular policy. It's a policy, it's a scheme for empowerment of girl children. So basically, 2001 census was a shocking to the government of Madhya Pradesh, wherein the child sex ratio was very badly dwindling. It fell below 920, the child sex ratio. And in some parts of Madhya Pradesh like Gwalior, Chambal belt, the child sex ratio was as low as 850, below 850. So at that point of time, the Chief Minister wanted us to come with a scheme which will bring a positivity in the society and enable girl children to be born. So appudu ee scheme tayaru chesam anamata 2007 1st April nunchi. So this scheme is still this scheme is continuing, and this scheme has been copied by 15 states of the country by various names. And in Madhya Pradesh alone, this scheme has enabled 45 lakh girl children to be born in Madhya Pradesh, 45 lakh girl children. And in the recent IFHS survey, IFHS survey, everybody should read the IFHS survey before you go to the interview. The recent IFHS survey, Indian Family Health Survey, it is called IFHS survey. The IFHS survey, the child sex ratio has gone above 950 in Madhya Pradesh. In the last 15 years, this scheme has enabled the birth of girl children, and the overall sex ratio has gone above 1000. That is, the overall sex ratio, which was earlier below 950, has now gone above 1000. That is, there are more women in comparison to men in Madhya Pradesh now. So these are the results of an effective implementation or effective designing of a scheme and implementation of a scheme. There are more than 15 to 20 people who have done PhD on this scheme alone. I have also come up with a book on this scheme, implementation of scheme, by name Betia. It is available on Amazon. You can get it. It is a easily readable book, and how the concept of girl child has become very important for governments across the country, all the state governments and central government after 2001, because of the census figures of 2001. So, and not only controlling of sex ratio, but state governments and central governments have come up with schemes in various areas pertaining to social justice, education, health, and Women and Child Development Department. So many schemes have come up to ensure that girl children are empowered. So that's why 2001 census is a watershed in the Indian administration context. Yeah.
So what about the steps specifically taken for behavioral change, bringing in behavioral
See, there are two
change?
aspects. Well, you are absolutely correct. Number one is, see, girl children are considered a burden by the parents. So number one, how to reduce the burden on the parents or on the society. So this is the first thing that the government has done, or the scheme. This scheme also says, there is huge amount of societal pressure on parents. See, whenever the societal pressure increases on parents, the society, either the society should step in or the government should step in. For example, ఇప్పుడు ఆడపిల్లల పెళ్లిళ్ళు అనేది it's a huge pressure on parents because of the society. The society has imposed such a pressure. సో అందుకని మధ్యప్రదేశ్లో కానీ, లేకపోతే ఈవెన్ తెలంగాణ, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో కానీ, ఇప్పుడు కళ్యాణ లక్ష్మి, షాదీ ముబారక్, ఇప్పుడు మధ్యప్రదేశ్లో మేము 2005లోనే ముఖ్యమంత్రి కన్యాదాన్ యోజన అని పట్టుకొచ్చినాం. So wherein the government performs the marriages of the girl children, or in this case లాడ్లీ లక్ష్మి యోజనలో అమ్మాయి పుట్టగానే లక్ష్మి అని అంటే 30,000 రూపాయలు డిపాజిట్ చేస్తే, ఆఫ్టర్ she reaches 18 years of age, she will get more than 1 lakh rupees. So అంటే అమ్మాయి పుట్టగానే లక్షాధికారి. ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏమవుతుందంటే సొసైటీ మీద ప్రెషర్ తగ్గిస్తుంది, అట్లాగే పేరెంట్స్ మీద ప్రెషర్, సో ఆ ప్రెషర్ తగ్గిస్తుంది, సొసైటల్ ప్రెషర్ తగ్గిస్తుంది, ఒక సురక్షితమైనటువంటి భావన కలిగిస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఆడపిల్లలు పుట్టినా కూడా కానీ మనకి గవర్నమెంట్ ఉన్నది చూసుకోవడానికి, మన గవర్నమెంట్ ఇంత డిపాజిట్ చేస్తుంది. సో మనం ఈ పైసలతోని అమ్మాయిలు పెళ్లిళ్ళు చేయడమా, లేకపోతే అమ్మాయికి పెరుగుదలకి సంబంధించినటువంటి విషయాల్లో తోడ్పడే విధంగా ఈ పైసలు పనికొస్తాయి అనేది ఆ భరోసా గవర్నమెంట్ ఏదైతే ఇవ్వగలుగుతుందో, దానివల్ల సొసైటీలో ఒక పాజిటివిటీ ఏర్పడింది. నంబర్ 1. నంబర్ 2, గవర్నమెంట్లు ఏం చేసినాయి, PCPNDT యాక్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, ప్రీ కన్సెప్షన్ ప్రీ నటల్ డయాగ్నోస్టిక్స్ టెస్ట్స్ యాక్ట్ 1994, ఈ యాక్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, PCPNDT యాక్ట్, దిస్ ఇస్ అనదర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్ దట్ యు మస్ట్ నో. somebody who has got interview కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు if you have got some background on these things they might ask you. సో PCPNDT యాక్ట్ ని బాగా ఎఫెక్టివ్ గా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడం స్టార్ట్ చేసింది గవర్నమెంట్స్. అంటే ఎవరైతే ఏ డాక్టర్స్ అయితే ఇల్లీగల్ సెక్స్ డిటర్మినేషన్ చేస్తున్నారో లేకపోతే ఫీమేల్ ఫిటిసైడ్ చేస్తున్నారో వాళ్ళ మీద యాక్షన్స్ తీసుకోవడం స్టార్ట్ చేసింది. మధ్యప్రదేశ్లోనే we took severe action on doctors who are performing this illegal sex determination ఇవన్నీ అన్నమాట. సో ఈ ప్రాసెస్ లో దిస్ ఇస్ ద సెకండ్ స్టెప్. థర్డ్ స్టెప్ ఏంటంటే సొసైటీలో అంటే ఇప్పుడు there are within the communities, within the societies you will find certain caste groups which are involved in this sex determination and female feticide rampantly. అంటే అందరూ చేయరు. ఇప్పుడు షెడ్యూల్డ్ ట్రైబ్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ tribal societies are the best societies. They never discriminate girl children. You will not find any sex determination or female feticide happening in tribal societies. So వాళ్ళకి మనము చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం కూడా లేదు. In general they don't discriminate. So where there is rampant discrimination, ఆ societies తో కూర్చొని మాట్లాడడం, ఆ societies కి అవేర్ చేయడం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ there is one very big community in Madhya Pradesh called Jain community. అంటే జైన్స్ ఉంటారు. సో జైన్ కమ్యూనిటీలో ఆడపిల్లలు పెళ్లి చేయడానికి ఆడపిల్లలు దొరకట్లేదు అనమాట. సో ఆ కమ్యూనిటీ వాళ్ళని పిలిపించి, చూడండి మీరు ఆడపిల్లలు పుట్టకపోనందువల్ల మీ సొసైటీ మీ కమ్యూనిటీలో there are many men who are not able to marry. సో ఆ స్టాటిక్స్ తీసి వాళ్ళకి చూపించి వాళ్ళకి చెప్పినప్పుడు they realized and the entire community started working on this thing. And within 10 years there was a positive change in the entire community that mana society lo mana community lo aadapillal lekapothe malli bite nunchi aadapillalni techuకొని పెళ్లి చేసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం వస్తది అనేది రియలైజేషన్. అంటే this is saying that ఇది గుడ్ ఆ బ్యాడ్ అది పక్కన పెట్టేసి first and foremost there should female feticide should come down, sex determination should come down. So ఇలాంటి స్టెప్స్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు the communities also realized and they started themselves ensuring that there is no female feticide or sex determination in their community or in their caste groups. So these are the ways how governments work in Madhya Pradesh.
So,
yeah.
So, may I know if you have about the initiatives that you have taken regarding the field of disabilities, sir?
Yeah. See, disability sector law, I mean, it is something when people, there is so much that needs to be done because people, there is about 2% of the population who are disabled physically. There are another 2 to 3% who are disabled, who are called persons with disabilities. There are categories in that. Then there is also temporary disability or permanent disability, like old age is there are old age, we cannot categorize them as disabled, but because you cannot climb stairs, you have to use a stick, you have to use a tricycle, so you are disabled in a way. Then people are temporarily disabled also in the sense somebody accident ayindi, you cannot walk, you have to use a stretcher, you have to. So if you take that way, there is about 8 to 10% of the population. And now with increasing age, I mean the longevity increase outunna koddi, there is more and more old age population which cannot have access to public places. Now this is very important. Access to public places is the most important thing which takes away the human rights of individuals who are disabled. అంటే ఏంటి, స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళాలన్నా, ఓ హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళాలన్నా, నువ్వు రోడ్డు క్రాస్ చేసి ఏదన్నా బస్ ఎక్కాలన్నా, లేకపోతే సినిమా చూడడానికి పోవాలన్నా, మాల్స్కి వెళ్ళాలన్నా, పబ్లిక్ ప్లేసెస్ అంటే స్పోర్ట్స్ యాక్టివిటీస్కి వాడుకోవాలన్నా, because there are no facilities, because there are no, you have not created that infrastructure, people never use or never go, they don't access to public spaces. So that causes more I mean, a feeling of, you know, the society doesn't want me. The society is not recognizing me. Who am I disabled permanently? Am I not required for the society? So ఈ ఫీలింగ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దీన్ని రెడ్యూస్ చేయాలి. అందుకోసం అని పబ్లిక్ ప్లేసెస్ ని యాక్సెసిబుల్ చేయాలి అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ తోని ఐ వర్క్డ్ ఇన్ ఆల్ ద డిస్ట్రిక్ట్స్ వేరెవర్ ఐ వాస్ కలెక్టర్. అండ్ పబ్లిక్ ప్లేసెస్ ని, సో సింపుల్ థింగ్స్, సింపుల్ ఇనిషియేటివ్స్, ర్యాంప్స్ కట్టించడము, ర్యాంప్స్, రైలింగ్స్, లిఫ్ట్లు ఎక్కడైతే పాసిబుల్ ఉన్నాయో యాక్సెస్ చేయడము, వీల్ చైర్స్ పెట్టించడము. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రైల్వే స్టేషన్స్లలో మీరు అంతకుముందు, ఇప్పుడు చాలా అవేర్నెస్ వచ్చింది. అంతకుముందు వీల్ చైర్ ఉంటే వాడు స్టేషన్ మేనేజర్ రూమ్ లో దాన్ని కట్టేసి పెడతారనమాట. ఎందుకంటే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి యూజ్డ్, సో ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి దేర్ అట్ ది ఎంట్రన్స్ గేట్ ఆఫ్ ది రైల్వే స్టేషన్. సో ఇట్లాంటి ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ మనం తీసుకొని చేస్తే దాంట్లో లాట్ ఆఫ్ చేంజ్ ఇట్ బ్రింగ్స్ ఇన్ ద సొసైటీ. So that's what I have done. Yeah.
And one more question, sir. In case, so I am a person with disability, sir. I just want to know that if they ask, in case as the population percentage of the disabled is around 2 to 2.5%, and what if they ask, is it justified to give 4% reservation to the persons with disability in the government employment opportunities?
See, this is a question which has been answered by the government themselves. You know, they have created a percentage of reservation after examining thoroughly how much reservation needs to be given to the persons with disabilities. Number one. Number two, absence of reservation doesn't qualify equality. This you must understand. Everybody needs to understand. Presence of reservation to a certain extent qualifies for equality, whereas absence doesn't guarantee equality. So you must answer this question this way. So the presence ante reservation undadam valla equality రావడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. రిజర్వేషన్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల రావాల్సినటువంటి ఈక్వాలిటీ రాకుండా పోతుంది అనే లైన్ తీసుకొని మాట్లాడాలి. సో this amount of percentage, this percentage of reservation is very much needed, and it enables equality in the society to certain sections of the society who otherwise would have never got that opportunity to exhibit their potential.
Thank you, sir.
So choose your words very carefully so that the words అనేది మనం ఏవైతే చూస్ చేస్తామో ఆ వర్డ్స్ చాలా కేర్ఫుల్ గా యూజ్ చేయాలి ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా. ఎందుకంటే we should not jump into areas where ఆన్సర్ మనం పాజిటివ్ గా చెప్పాల్సిన ఆన్సర్ నెగటివ్ గా వెళ్ళకూడదు. అది సో పాజిటివ్ ఆన్సర్ ఎప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ గా ఉండాలి. మనం ఇంకెవరిని ఇబ్బంది పెట్టకుండా మన ఆన్సర్ ని మనం చాలా కేర్ఫుల్ గా చెప్పిన వాళ్ళము ఉండాలి అట్లా. ఓకే.
Such schemes like ITDA are not able to succeed in reaching to the tribal population they deserve, sir. And also, what positive changes can we bring about, or positive initiatives can we bring about by working in tribal areas as a district magistrate?
See, it's never anybody saying that, you know, any scheme is not succeeding is wrong. The right thing is all schemes are good, implementation is bad. It is absence of effective implementation of policies. The implementation of policies should be effective, and especially when working in areas pertaining to tribals, there should be an element of passion and compassion amongst officers. So the government should instill passion and compassion amongst officers to work for the most needy sections of the society, like the tribals. So ide answer undali. So I mean, no policy. I mean, ITD అనేది లేకపోతే ట్రైబల్ పాలసీ ఇది ఐటీడీ అనేది ఒకవేళ మనము రాంగ్ పాలసీ అనుకుంటే 40-50 years నుంచి ఎందుకు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాం? And there are success stories across the country where ITDAs have been highly successful. If it is not successful in some place or one place or two places, that doesn't mean we will just, remove those policies or we'll change those policies. We can always improve the policies. We should say this. There are certain areas which can be improved amongst the policies, but no policy is bad. Every policy is brought by governments after thorough understanding, thorough stakeholder conferences, thoroughly understanding the requirement of the societies, and such policies are brought in. Okay.
So implementation part is bad, or it's not meeting the expectations, so we have to improve upon that.
Yes.
So incremental changes. But
Yes.
also there is now a new policy in AP government, sir. There is consolidation of tribal areas like Araku, Paderu, Rampuchodavaram under single district, sir. So what opportunities do they have as being make alone districts rather than being part of other urban districts, like they were part of Visakhapatnam or Vizianagaram before? And also, can you speak in general about the uses of smaller districts, sir?
Yeah, see, one, I appreciate the way government of Andhra Pradesh actually designed the districts, because they have taken, number one, they have taken the parliamentary constituency as a benchmark and boundary. Okay, that is a correct thing that they have done. Whereas in Telangana, they didn't do that right. Telangana, they didn't go by that methodology, because of which there is huge hodgepodge in Telangana districts formation. Whereas in Andhra Pradesh, it is a very good way, because it will be good administration point of view. There will be one collector and one member of parliament, and under that parliamentary constituency, there will be few assembly constituencies which are within that boundary of the parliamentary constituency. So that is a very good way of actually organizing the boundaries of any district. And when it comes to, a district should be optimal in shape or area. A district should not be too small. A district should not be too large to be not able to be governed. A district has to be optimal in nature. So for us, parliamentary constituency is a very reasonable, optimal area. Very reasonable, optimal area to be governed by a district collector. Okay. Now, when it comes to the formation of districts of, Araku and all, see, it all boils down to effective administration. Having an urban area or a rural area, a combination of urban and rural. See, every district will have its unique identity, and having a district like a tribal district, there are many such tribal districts in Madhya Pradesh. There must be at least 15 such tribal districts in Madhya Pradesh, where there is no urban area or there is no other area which is. So what needs to be done is, if a district is predominantly tribal in nature, we should ensure that the existing policy, a revision of existing policies, a review of existing policies, and whether new policies should be brought in so that the socio-economic development of the tribals happens or not. How to improve their living standards, how to improve their livelihood standards. This is where we should work on, and we should welcome the formation of the new districts.
Okay, thank you.
I think I will stop here because I have some more work. I can give more time if it suits, maybe in a couple of days more. Is it okay?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, Amma.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time for all of us. Sir, we'll get back to you with success in next 2 months, sir. Thank you, sir. In case we have any doubts, we'll share our doubts also with you, sir. Kindly help us, sir.
Definitely. And I can give more time, maybe towards Saturday, Sunday, I can give more time. Okay. I can give more time if needed by the aspirants. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.